One of the biggest obstacles to translational research is that the very definition of translational research often involves you taking your research findings using one laboratory experimental method and moving them into an experimental platform that's completely different than the one that you did before or the one that you're used to. So if what you were used to was doing experiments in mice, you might want to translate those findings into doing experiments in people, a completely different research environment than you're used to. The obstacle that's involved in that is that frequently when you move to that new area, there will be new technologies that'll be required, new ways of analysis that will be required, and it's difficult for any one person to have a handle on all the technologies that are available in their own building at the university frequently, let alone in their own institute or university-wide. And so it sounds funny to say this, but one of the biggest obstacles is simply understanding what technology is available that you could bring to your project in that new environment that you're translating your research into. One of the platforms you might want to move into is an animal experimental model platform. If your research was in yeast or your research was in cell culture, a logical step in translational research would be to move that into an animal model. So we have expertise in that in the Center Integration Resource. We have experts in animal studies, individuals who actually have served on the IHS Co-Director, which is the committee that regulates and approves animal research with ethical considerations. And so we've provided that as one of the expertises that we know that we'll need. My laboratory research actually spans both human subjects-based population studies that we do in the field. We're very interested in human populations that are exposed to arsenic, especially in their drinking water. And we also have a component of the laboratory that does classic bench work where we look at the effects of arsenic on cells, for example, in culture. And so my own research has had to move from one research area or experimental system into a completely different research area and experimental system. So really firsthand, I've seen the difficulty of assembling all of the support that frequently is available locally, maybe not so easy to find, maybe you're not aware that it exists. And so the mission of the integration resource is simply to assemble and maintain and be a clearinghouse, if you will, of all of the translational resources that we have available locally so that researchers who want to do translational projects don't spend a month and a half simply trying to itemize everything that they have available that they could possibly use on their project and waste that time.